Here we go with the Netgear Powerline 200 plus Wi-Fi adapter. This thing's pretty easy to set up and it works very, very well. So first thing you want to do is plug each adapter in to the wall outlet, and then the main adapter you want to plug into your wireless router. And once you get it plugged into the wireless router, it'll be given an IP address and a device name. This is my device name currently because I set it differently than the default one. Its default one should be different than everybody's because I think it's randomly generated. You should be able to easily eliminate it. If not, just go ahead and try the IP address on each one. Once you get the IP address, you'll be prompted for a username and password. The username by default is admin, and the password is password. So once you get in, go ahead and get into wireless settings. Make sure the enable SSID broadcast is enabled. The SSID, I personally use the same SSID as my wireless router. I don't like having two separate ones unless it's for a guest, but this is something I'm going to be using for within my internal network, so I just use the same. The channel, what you want to use, is all dependent on what your wireless router is. I recommend setting your wireless router to either 1, 6, or 11. So say it's on 1, you'll want to set this wireless network adapter to either 6 or 11, or you can do vice versa. Say your wireless router is on a 6 channel, then you'll want to use 1 or 11 for this one. This one just creates less interference and that type of thing, gives you higher speeds and throughput. Mode, you want to use the highest speed. Personally, I use 145 and 300. It's really not going to matter a whole lot because it's most likely you're not going to end up getting 300. Your WPA PSK is what you want to use for security. That to me is the most secure and is most widely compatible with newer devices out there. And then you want to put in your passphrase. I recommend using numbers and letters, and sometimes it allows you to use certain special characters. So basic settings here, you can set your static IP. I am setting the static IP from the router, so there's no point in doing this twice and setting in here also. But if you don't know how to do that, then this is where you can set it in here to get your specific IP address that you want. Status page here is just going to give you basic information about your Powerline adapter. Network devices, this is just what's going to show what's currently connected to this adapter. Backup settings here, you can back up your settings, restore from a previous file, or erase it to factory defaults. Set password is setting the admin password to actually log into this Powerline adapter. So this by default is password, and then you can plug in a new one, and that just makes it more secure. Firmware updates, this is where you're wanting to actually update to the latest version and adds new features and fixes bugs after this thing's been put in production. So it's always recommended to get the latest version. If you've already downloaded it from the website, you can choose the file here and load it manually. In the advanced wireless settings here, there's a lot of things you can play with. You can change the threshold and some of the other wireless settings up here to coexistence and enabling the actual wireless device. You can just make this Powerline only and not even use the Wi-Fi. So that's something you could do. The preamble mode, I just leave it on automatic. Sometimes people have specific settings they use. I personally just use the automatic. Works the best for me. Transmitting power, I turn mine down just because I'm barely out of the range of my current wireless router, so I just want to have a small amount of overlap. I don't want a ton of overlap just because I'm barely outside the range. So I turn mine down to 25%. You may play with this to see what your best amount is for overlap and how much you're connected to this. Basically, I don't want this thing to be overlapping so much that I'm always connected to this when I'm over in the other rooms, because I only plan on using this in a certain room because it's just outside of my range. So here you can disable the pin. I don't even use this at all. I don't want to be using WPS pin because it's very insecure with what testing I've done. And then there's also a access list you can set up so only certain devices are able to connect to that. And that's set up through your MAC address. I don't use it at all, so I just have it disabled for now. You can go in here to the PLC settings And this is your power savings. You can turn that on or off, or you can turn on and off the LED, so you can make it kind of look secure and not have anything show up. So that is the setup for the Netgear Powerline 200. This thing works well. I've used it for probably 6 to 8 months, and for my needs it works very well. It eliminated all the dead spots that I needed it to. And if you guys have any questions or just product, you need answers about this product, just let me know. Put a comment down below, and make sure you rate and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the video, and stay tuned for more of these videos.